Hey, what's up, guys? I want to do a kind of short and sweet, hopefully, roundup of all the albums I listened to in January that were at least good. You know, maybe not great, but at least good. I got, let me see, roughly like 10 albums to talk about. So I'm going to try to get through them all pretty quick. I don't want to, bore you or anything. So let's hop right into it. The first album I want to talk about is the rapper Milo. Excuse me. He has a sort of like a side project, alter ego kind of thing called Scallops Hotel. And he has a short album, it's only like 25 minutes or so, called Sovereign Nose of Your Arrogant Face. Really good. I mean, there's not necessarily much different between like Milo and Scallops Hotel. I will say that this album, or I guess EP you could call it maybe, is a little more concise, a little more quick. It's not as fleshed out and polished, I guess, but really good. Sort of, his off-kilter, sort of poetic, sometimes a little weird rap style. And I mean, he's one of my favorite rappers out right now, so I'll take as much of him as I can get. It's on his Bandcamp. Just look up Milo Bandcamp and you'll find it. You can actually get it for free. I think I paid a couple dollars. I'm a cheapskate. What can I say? But yeah, really good stuff. Another album I want to talk about that was also on Bandcamp was Jeff Rosenstock's album Post. Very punky at times. At times pretty heavy, honestly. I haven't listened to this album in a minute. I need to go do that. There's just been so much other stuff I want to check out, But really good punk stuff. Again, I mean, you can get this album for free if you want to. You can go. I can't remember if you can. I think you can download it for free, but you can't like stream it or something on the Bandcamp app. So yeah, you can get it for free. You can pay whatever you want for it. So I would definitely recommend doing that. And then lastly, the last Bandcamp album I want to talk about is an artist named Coldrip, Coldrip. I've actually used a couple of their songs in a couple of videos here recently. I mean, they aren't monetized videos, so hopefully that's not too much of an issue. But it's instrumental hip hop, really kind of laid back and chilled, kind of jazzy, very sample heavy hip hop. I believe Coldrip is like an Australian producer, for whatever that's worth. I guess that's just some more information about them. I haven't really looked into them that much. I just found this album, and again, I think actually you have to pay at least $3 for this one. I don't think it's for free. But anyways, yeah, it's really good stuff. It's about 24 songs, but I mean they're pretty concise. Yeah, I mean, really good stuff. I would definitely, I think I've said that like 6 times for this one album. But yeah, I enjoy it. I'd definitely go check it out. If you like sample heavy, jazzy hip hop, Coldrip does pick, a decent variety of samples. She has like a Lauryn, I think it's a she. They have like a Lauryn Hill sample on there, and then they have like samples of music from like the 30s and 40s, like vocal jazz samples. So it's a decent variety of sampling within the album. Next album I want to talk about is an EP called Divide by an artist named Hannah Ben. She's a singer-songwriter. This is a pretty spacey, experimental sort of singer-songwriter album. It's, I guess, a little more, it's a little bigger in scope than I expected. The single I don't really like that much, but I still checked the EP out. As a whole, the EP is pretty good. It's not like incredible. I don't know how often I'll listen to it throughout the year, but I'd go check it out. You might like it. Who knows? I want to talk briefly about a new album called Songs of Praise by a band called Shame. This is a post-punk album, post-punk band. I enjoy this album quite a bit. The only thing about it is I feel like I've heard all these songs before. To me, they don't feel that new. It's like, I mean, that's kind of a discredit to them, really, because it just doesn't make me feel anything like that I've never felt before, essentially. I also want to talk about the new, it's called The Brown Tape by Ghostface Killah and the producer Apollo Brown. This album I did not realize was actually just a remake of a previous Ghostface Killah album with, I can't remember his name right now. Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name, but I liked it. It's got really dirty production. It's hip hop. If you don't know who Ghostface Killah is, it's hip hop. But I like the gritty production that Apollo Brown brings, and I like the narrative. It's not that original of a narrative. It's basically the story of a mobster who doesn't like the way the mob that he's in is run, so he branches off and creates his own mob, and then they end up trying to get revenge or whatever. It's not that original of like a narrative or a story, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. I feel like I've kind of cooled off on it after finding out it's just a remake. I don't know. That might sound stupid, but yeah, I don't know. So ever since I found that out, I don't think I've listened to it since I found that out, actually. But I do, like I said, I really do like the gritty production, the dirty production. I listened to part of the original, and it was a lot more cleaner, and it didn't really sound very good. This sounds a lot better than the original, in my opinion. All right, next up, I want to talk about probably the biggest album in January that came out, which is Culture 2 by the Migos. Migos, a trap threesome, Quavo, Offset, Takeoff. They basically picked up where they left off with Culture 1. It's more of the same. It's just expanded, and when I say expanded, I mean way too long. This album is an hour and 45 minutes. It does not need to be that at all. They definitely could have cut Culture 2 down to 12 to 15 songs, and it would have been a really good album. But there's songs like Gang Gang, which is like the worst song I've heard by them. Too Much Jewelry, I don't think needs to be there. Trying to think of what else. The last two songs don't need to be there. I don't even think the intro really needs to be there. Like, they definitely could have cut it down to like 12 songs. BBO is really good with 21 Savage. He's like the only feature that really does much for me. Like, the Drake feature is okay. The Gucci Mane feature doesn't really do anything. The Cardi B and Nicki Minaj are okay. The 2 Chainz verse or feature is okay. Like, none of the features are really that good except for 21 Savage. The way he flows over that beat, and that beat's just incredible. But I feel like with this album, the first like 7 songs, I feel like they had ideas, like especially on the production side, and I feel like pretty quick it sort of faded, and they just started making more generic trap songs. But there's some songs near the end that are good. Like Made Men is one of my probably 3 favorite songs. My 3 favorites are BBO, Stir Fry, which, oh my god, that Pharrell beat is incredible, and then Made Men. And if that's what an Offset or a Takeoff song sounds like, because it seems like that's his song. If that's what a Takeoff Jesus. If that is what a Takeoff song sounds like, if I could talk, I definitely want a Takeoff album. I mean, that would be incredible. But yeah, Culture 2, I'd definitely check it out, but just know it drags on. I mean, if you're doing something and it's like background music, it's fine. The length doesn't really bother me. But if you try to just listen to the album, you can't do that. It drags on way too long. But there are roughly probably 12, 13, 14 songs in there that are they're actually really good songs. Next up, I want to talk about the new Maxo Cream album called Pumpkin, which I found out is actually a nickname of his from when he was a kid. So that's kind of a cool little tidbit of information, But this is another trap album. I think he's from Houston, I want to say. I believe he's from Houston. It's trap rap with substance is kind of how I look at it. There's a lot of storytelling on here, just over trap beats. It's not. To me, there's really nothing like ignorant about this album lyrically. I mean, he talks about like, selling drugs and gang life and stuff like that, but he also talks about like the bad part about that, the consequences, and it's really good rap. I would definitely check it out. It's probably my second favorite. Yeah, it's one of my 2 favorite albums of January. It's really good stuff. My favorite song is probably Grannies or Roaches. Roaches as the closer, and then Grannies, I believe, was the second song. They're really good storytelling rap songs on this album. And the last album I want to talk about is called Ruins by First Aid Kit. First Aid Kit is I believe Swedish singer-songwriter duo. They're sisters. Yeah, I feel like the more I listen to this album, the more I love it. I need to get deeper into the lyrics because I haven't like read any of the lyrics yet. I will be honest, but so I couldn't like tell you everything that the songs are about. But it's kind of folky. It's got a sort of country twang to it. It's not like a country album. It's more folk than country, more singer-songwriter than just country. But anyways, I really love the voices, the harmonies they bring. Just there's some beautiful singing on this album, beautiful instrumentation. Like I really enjoy this album quite a bit. My favorite song would probably be To Live a Life, which is like the 5th or 6th song I believe on the album. But man, I would definitely recommend this album. This is probably my favorite album of January. At first I was just kind of lukewarm on it, but like I said, the more I listened to it, the more I like really love this record. I could see this album being still in rotation all the way, October, November, December. Like, this is a really good album in my opinion. I definitely check it out if I were you. You might not like it as much as I did, or I do, but whatever, doesn't matter. We're all individuals here. But yeah, that's the 10 or so albums that I really enjoyed in January. What albums did you enjoy in January? Yeah, so leave a like, comment, subscribe. Talk to you guys later. See ya.